should be able to jump on the stream. But
Cool.
yeah, basically what I was saying is I think Vietnamese. Oh, looks like Chris dropped off. Vietnamese
Yeah.
food is one of the most diverse ones because the food from northern Vietnam to central Vietnam to southern Vietnam, um, all of it is very different.
Yeah.
So, but to be honest with you, if you ask me what my favorite dish is that I can consistently find it across different countries and it's always a little different, but always good is curry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Vietnamese curry, Thai curry, Indian curry, amongst the Asian countries, they do curry right. And no matter where I go, I'm going to find a curry that I like.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's my hack for finding a good dish no matter where I'm at.
Nice. It's good to have your go-to that you know you're always good with.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Let's see. So it looks like we're recording. The stream is a little slow to pick up, but should be coming up soon on YouTube. Let me just double check too here on.
Yeah. I just wanted to let you know I have a kind of a hard stop in an
Mhm.
hour,
Okay, cool. No
but
worries.
otherwise I am here.
Cool. Well, it's good to have you join us. This is not your first time. I think this is like your second time joining us, right?
It's I've been a few times, like
Yeah.
3, 4 times, but you weren't there actually.
Oh, well,
Like while you were
shame on
out
me.
when we had I think we had like, wait, Diana is Tree Girl, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had it with Diana and Gramajo.
Oh, rad.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
good to put a face to the name, Chris.
Yeah, it is for sure actually.
Okay, looks like on X we're streaming under the live banner, so it didn't take my broadcast. It's always something. And YouTube is streaming, so we're live everywhere. So I'm gonna just tweet out we are live, and y'all are welcome to just retweet that. Here we go. Okay, so I know we're live. Let's get going. Lots been happening. I think the last couple of weeks that we've been on, since I got back from DevCon, we've really kind of been diving into this world of meme coins and what that means just generally, but also how that connects to the Farcaster ecosystem, and the cool things that are being built there. Personally, I'm working on something that I think is going to bring some innovation to the meme coin space and for creators. I'm thinking about this as a long play for meme coins, probably the wrong way to think about it. I'd like to hear your thoughts about this. Just generally, do you think that meme coins are something that are going to transcend this current cycle? Or is this something that's here to stay? And just generally, like, what's in your radar? What are some of the things that you're seeing that are exciting you about um, just the meme coin space in general? So, with that said, let's kick it off. Diana, welcome back to Early Morning Crew. This is really probably late for you now, apparently, since you've been up since 2.
Yeah, I've been up for 6 hours at this point.
Wow.
This is so funny. I know I've like decided that I'm just gonna stop fighting the jet lag and just embrace it. And whatever time I wake up, like I can start work. Like it's crypto, right? Like crypto never sleeps. I don't have 9 to 5 hours, so why does it matter if I start working at 2 in the morning versus 9 in the morning, like normal people? Like really, it doesn't matter. But to respond to your prompt about meme coins, like I think like categorizing meme coins is a little broad in my view because I think there's so many different kinds of meme coins, and I think like when I think about whether meme coins will kind of like last for a while or if they're just a quick virality play and they're going to be gone next week, I think it really depends on which meme coin it is. I do think it's hard to keep a meme coin project around, and I think the majority of them are just really quick plays that are here today and gone tomorrow. But I do think that certain kinds of meme coins can stick around, and I think a lot of that hinges on whether there's any sort of narrative or lore behind the meme coin. And I think if a project can do that well, build a backstory, build narrative that keeps people engaged and that people want to follow, I think that like there's no reason a meme coin doesn't have the ability to stick around for a long time. So an example of that that I've seen that I really liked is, for example, Cersei's project, the 747 Airlines project. I really like that. I mean, as obviously as somebody who travels a lot, and I think a lot of people in the crypto space travel all the time and can relate to that. I think that's a really strong narrative to build behind a project, and all the cool like artwork that he built around that too. Like I personally loved all of that. So that's the sort of project that I can kind of get behind. Um, and I think like, you know, we don't really have to give examples of the other side because I think that's the majority of what people see. I think a lot of it is also just personal preference. So for example, like the latest meme coin trend with the blonde and then the brunette, like that didn't really resonate with me personally. I found it to be a bit cringe. So again, like a lot of it just boils down to like personal taste too and what's going to resonate with you personally.
Oh man, I was team blonde. I got to be honest with you. Only
I
because
thought you would like that one.
I, I was
no,
actually team red.
you were.
I don't
Oh
know if you
wait,
ever.
red or ginger? Because I saw ginger.
No, the ginger one, I didn't like the name. I was team red from the
Okay,
start, actually.
Oh, I didn't
fair.
even see that. I only saw the like dichotomy of blonde and brunette. I didn't even see the red or the other. I don't even know if
The
there's
red
other
just
versions of
touched,
it.
like we tried picking it up, but it didn't really pick up that much. It went to like 300-400K.
But see, that's
Or
the
like
fun.
reds for the win, but reds didn't win. So
Yeah, I mean, but that's like demographically accurate. I think there are fewer redheads in the world
Right.
than there are brunettes. Definitely, I think that's probably the most common color, and then blonde. Um, that's fun though, right? Like again. I actually had a 1 hour conversation with a partner that I'm going to be working on launching something soon about this whole idea of like memes and really specifically around the meme marketplace where the community basically is voting what they think is funnier or what they think is more relevant or what they think is, you know, the best joke. And we can get to joke race in a bit because I know Diana, you're deep in that world about like, hey, let's vote on things, right? But this is like an open marketplace that says, okay, we have three hair colors here: blonde, brunette, and red. I'm gonna let you know what I vibe with, and I'm team blonde, not because I'm a blonde, but because in my 20s, when I was in my craziest, I was a platinum blonde. I had platinum blonde hair, and that
Wait,
I'm telling you,
we need to see photos of this. You
I
can't drop
know.
stuff like that and not show photos. You have to find something and screen share and share the photo. People are
I,
going to be dying to see it.
I'll tweet it out with the blonde hashtag or the blonde,
There you go.
money
Yeah,
tag.
dollar sign. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
people
yeah,
will
I mean, blondes do
think
have
it's
more fun. I'll
AI.
tell you that much. As having been blonde, I can attest to blondes have more fun. I had a blast.
I don't think you need to have a certain hair color to have a lot of fun. But that's just my personal opinion.
Maybe I just presented myself differently when I was a blonde. I yeah, it was a very different feeling when I was a platinum blonde versus, I'm traditionally brown hair, so brunette, I suppose. Anyways, but that's fun, right? And so the market then decides, I think blonde is better, or I think brunette is better, and they vote with their money. And eventually, the market will dictate a winner and a loser. In this case, apparently, red was not a good bet. So I just think that that's funny because that's the whole point. It's one big joke. It's like, how can we just vote on things that don't really matter, but are culturally interesting, maybe culturally important? I don't think being blonde or brunette is culturally important, but that's just something that I think is funny. What do you think? How do you think that coincides or aligns or is very different from something like voting with joke race, Diana?
I think that's like right in line with voting on Joke Race. And I think like the ultimate point of something like Joke Race, and I guess it depends who you ask. Like if you ask David, he'll probably say the ultimate point is to make money. But I think like the ultimate point of something like joke race or on-chain governance is really just to strengthen the community. I see it as a community building play. So yeah, I mean, I think it's right in line with that. I think people love to vote. And I think it's a lot more fun to vote on lighthearted things like blonde or brunette or things that really have no real impact versus like heavier things. Um, like presidential elections, less fun. So I think, I mean, yeah, I'm super bullish on chain voting of any kind.
Yeah, I agree. I think people like to share their opinion. I think people are just naturally opinionated, and they want to share their opinion one way or the other. People also like to make money, but the likelihood is people are going to lose money. So,
Yeah, I
this.
mean, the people, what, like if we're talking about joke race, like the people that are voting aren't the people that are making money. It's the contest creators that are making money.
Mm,
But just to like show how much people like to vote and express their opinions on chain, like you have to pay to cast a vote on joke race. And people do it all the time on really trivial, meaningless things. I mean, you saw this like with the hot ones that we did at
hmm
DevCon for Rehash, right? Like people voted on who had the spiciest takes. And there's like absolutely no impact or consequence to this whatsoever. And no point to spending money to tell everybody your opinion about who has the spiciest takes, but people still did it. And I mean, I think that's a really good example of like how much people like to just vote and express their opinions is they're willing to spend money to express an opinion.
hmm
It's like you
Yeah.
could just
That's
like tweet it or cast it on Warpcast or say it in your Telegram group chat, but instead people are actually paying money to express an opinion.
Chris, what were you going to
no,
say?
I was gonna say like that's a first of all that's an excellent point. Like as you said, like people love expressing their opinion and at the same time practically just having fun with it. But I'm gonna take a bit of a tangent here just to draw parallels in general with on-chain governance. Just as you said, people on one side love voting, but on the other side, we have most chains that are actually struggling to engage people to actually go there and vote. Like I've only met one chain that does a really good job right now. It's Mode. It's part of the super chain. But everyone else is actually struggling to get people to actually vote on something and to drive that direction of things. Now, there's various aspects we can cover there, like on the voting aspect. But if you see it like on joke race and similar, we're actually voting on jokes. But when it comes to more serious manners, people are like, no, 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 not gonna look at that.
But is the things that you're voting on the problem, or are the voting mechanisms the problem?
That's a great question, actually. I think it's both
Fair.
to a certain extent. I'm
I
not
also
saying
think
like
that
they're
there's
completely flawed. I'm not
yeah.
saying they're completely flawed. They're in the right direction, but there are some things that are too, let's say, developer focused. Especially
Yeah.
right now as we try to focus to bring more people in. Like we don't if we make it more fun and more engaging, we're a lot more likely to engage.
Yeah.
I have never voted in a chain, even though when I was asked.
Aren't
So
you like a optimism, like mega, like bullish person? Like, how dare you? Like, you're not
I,
delegating?
I'm a, I'm
Dun
a,
dun
I'm super
dun.
bullish for sure.
I'm teasing you, of course. Um, Look, I think all of us here have been part of a DAO at some point or another. I mean, some of us are running a DAO. Wink, wink, rehash DAO.
Actually, I haven't been part of it all.
Oh gosh.
Funnily enough,
Okay. Where's the boot button? Okay, okay, you haven't been part of a DAO. Fair. You're big on optimism. Optimism is a DAO, right? It has two
yeah,
houses and
optimism
it
is the
acts
DAO.
as a DAO. So you're in a way, even though not participating, you're in a
Technically,
DAO.
technically, I am. Yeah.
It's like people saying they're American but they never voted. Okay? Like at the end of the day, you're still an American. You're still in a DAO. Okay? What I'm getting at is I think all of us have experienced voter fatigue. All of us has seen like proposals come through that are like yawn fest. You're like, why is this a proposal? Or how is this
Exactly.
relevant to me? Do you need me to participate in this? Because I have no context. I have no understanding of this. I'm telling you this as a nouner, right? Like I see things come through. I'm like, well, I've got to abstain, both as a nouner and as a nounceler. I have to abstain because I'm like, I have no context to what this means. I'd like to vote for it because I think you presented the idea well enough, but I'm not going to vote on something I have no understanding of what it means or
Yeah.
what it does or how it's going to impact the community in the long run. Um, and also sometimes it just keeps coming and coming and coming. You're like, I am trying to keep up on all these proposals, but I can't. So I think that some of these voting mechanisms, which, look, I think Downs probably one of the better examples of DAOs, still aren't the most human experiences when it comes to like
Yeah.
voting on chain. Memes, again, it's a little degenerate, right? Like we're in a big casino and we're walking around and we're hearing all the bells and we're like, I'm gonna go vote on that by putting $1 in that. And I'm gonna go vote on that by putting another 50 cents on that. And you're just walking around the entire casino and you actually voted on things whether you know it or not, but you were having a lot of
Sure.
fun while doing so. And also it's much more social, I think. Like the meme coins are a lot more social than like DAO governance. Let's be real here.
Yeah. That's and that I think is one of the main challenges. It's also because like in DAO governance, and I had an amazing chat with, I don't know if you know Aragon.
Yeah.
This is a platform for DAOs. I had an amazing chat with their CTO a few days ago. It's practically um, a lot of DAOs in general, a lot of chains put out proposals just for the sake of putting out proposals without, just as you said, Humpty, like without actually clarifying how it impacts you and whether you need to vote or not. Although some kind of a blend between voting mechanisms on the meme coins and DAO governance might be a nice blend to explore, even though it doesn't come to my mind what could happen over there. But I think people especially don't vote in DAOs is because oftentimes DAOs follow the exact same government structure as we have in the government. And most crypto people, at least, are not, I mean, at least I'm speaking from my perspective, but we see something that is kind of flawed and then we copy it on chain and now it's on chain, but it doesn't mean that it will be
Yeah.
fixed.
On
At
chain
least
doesn't
from my
fix everything.
perspective, that's how I see it. On chain doesn't fix everything.
Yeah.
You
In
can
fact,
launch a
sometimes
token
on
with
chain
it, though.
breaks things.
On chain
But
does break things.
yeah, and I mean, I think this again, just for me, just is I'm just gonna keep saying this is like on chain doesn't fix everything. On chain sometimes breaks things. Casinos work really well on chain. So if
Yes.
voting is buying a token or selling a token, which I've always thought that that is like the biggest signal for a community, is the buy sell, right, or even LPing of your token. All of these things are strong signals, sometimes even stronger signals than like go vote with this token, because people are buying in or buying out, right, of your community, saying, I'm out. I don't really vibe with this. And I know that was true for me when like DAOs first became a thing. It's like I went ham. Like I was buying all sorts of DAO tokens. I'm like, oh, I'm a DAO, maxi. I think this is the future of the world. And then I was like, oh, I'm selling out, selling this, selling that, because I don't vibe with your community. I don't vibe with what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And oftentimes we don't even have to, I think. There's too much stuff going on right now on chain. Like some of it needs to be like just cleared up a bit, and the ones that will stand out, I think, and 95% of the rest will just disappear just as they have until now.
Yeah.
Just a trend. But going back to the question, we went a bit further away. Like when it comes to meme coins and is it a lasting trend, I think it will last as long as there's new people coming in crypto. And
Ooh. Wait, so you're just saying we're
that's quite a
dumping
bit.
bags? That's literally the statement you just made. As long as there's more people to buy our bags, this will keep going up. You know what's funny you say
It's
that, because
true.
my wife asked me this morning. This is how crazy this is coming. My wife, by the way, is much earlier than I am. She has Doge, she has Pepe, she has all these things in her portfolio, which I've usually been like, nah, that's not for me. And this meme cycle, I'm like, oh shoot, I get the
I
meta,
should
but
have
it's too
bought some
late.
Dodge.
My wife's bags look really nice. And she goes, hey, should I buy this or that? And I was like, I think the meta is like at its top on some of these tokens. And so my recommendation to her was like, I wouldn't buy the top because to your point, she's coming in. She's more, like, she's not as native as I am. So she's coming in and she's going to be buying someone's bags. And I'm like, I don't know about that, honey. Like, let's find other meta that like we're early on. Right. But that's
Yeah.
the point. Like, if is that the point then? Are we literally just going to perform well when new people come in and buy our bags and then get destroyed and have a bad taste of crypto in their mouth? Diana, you got
I
something to say?
Well,
I tweeted this the other day. I said I'm starting to think that onboarding the masses was just deployed to create exit liquidity for those who've been grinding away in crypto for too long. And I mean, I can't lie.
That's
Like,
spicy.
is it is, but also like if you think about it, like, is it not true? Like, if we're honest with ourselves,
Yeah.
like, is
True.
that not potentially very true?
It's a zero-sum game in the end, if you
Ooh,
see it that way.
man.
That's spicier.
Okay.
That's a spicier take than my take.
Gramajo and Raven are nice compared to both of y'all. You both came in here and said crypto is worthless, crypto is dead.
That's not what I'm saying, but like it's okay.
I'm teasing. Obviously, you didn't say that.
I think if we're honest with ourselves, like, would we not all, you know, go retire
But
somewhere, like go buy a nice house on the beach on an island somewhere, go retire there with our family, live a nice, calm, enjoyable, not stressful life if we could, like, if we had the financial means, if any of us three in this room made it big and our bags blew up and we were just financially set for the rest of our lives, would we still be here grinding away at this?
yeah,
I,
I actually
I don't
like the
say my
game.
bags are that big, but I've been here a long time. And, you know, I'm here. I'm here for the tech. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
No,
I'm
but I
trying
get your
to,
point.
I'm trying to
In the
encourage
bull
honesty
cycle.
hour, and I
No, I know. But I
Sorry.
hear what you're saying. Like, and look, to be fair to your point, I want to make sure that I emphasize that there are a lot of us who are here during the bear grinding, putting in the work because we do believe in this. Like, right? Like, I mean, I'll speak for myself, obviously, and I know Diana. I see your work. I see you showing up every day, even though the market sucks. But you're here because you believe in the community that you built, the products that you're creating, you know, the technology, obviously, that's integrated into all of it. And I see what you're saying. It's like when the bull run comes, you're like, there you go. Everybody come in, get a little sprinkle of everything that I own, and I'll see you next bear cycle. Right? I mean, I can see that. It's like it's the opposite. When people are coming in, I'm retiring a bit, and when people are leaving, I'm coming in again. Because it's also noisier, to be fair. If you're a builder at this time, can your message really cut through all the noise? I don't know. It's hard. Harder.
it definitely is. Yeah, no, there's definitely way more noise during a bull market, and in that sense, a bear market is almost nicer to build in because it's like quieter, and you can actually have the time and energy and air to like experiment with things. But like, I don't know, like, if I'm honest with myself, like, sometimes there is that thought that crosses my mind that's like, okay, we're entering into another bull market. We have a new group of freshmen coming in. Is this when I, you know, go hard and take advantage of these newbies and get the fuck out?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I can't say that thought has never crossed my mind.
Yeah. I think it's a fair statement, and I think a lot of us think about it. I guess my bags aren't big enough to make an impact
Not
on
yet,
people coming
right?
in.
Not yet.
Fair. Yeah. That's not to say I don't have bags, but you know, look, it's spread across a variety of things and some things that I would never sell, right? I think like some of us have DCA'd into things that, and for those of you who don't know what that means, dollar cost average, into things that we believe have long-term value. But look, that's me, right? I think someone else might be like, that's trash.
Yeah.
Why the heck are you collecting trash?
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of those did not play out that well though. Especially,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know OPSEC.
OPSEC? What, like
Yeah,
just the
it's
term
a it's
OPSEC
a
or
it's
optimism
an AI.
security?
No, no, OPSEC,
Oh,
the
okay.
token. So
I'm like, man, you're
even
just like
DCAing
you're
like on big
trashing
ones
optimism
sometimes.
today.
No.
I'm kidding. The optimism show is alive and well. Go on.
Yeah, when you mentioned DCAing, like it's actually I the whole point just flew away.
Sorry. Oh man. Okay.
So
Let's talk about because you guys weren't here the last 2 weeks, and I'd really want to hear your perspective since you haven't really shared your thoughts on this. We saw what like Pump.Fun did for meme coins. It accelerated the virality of the creation, discovery, and monetization of memes, which in itself I think is a whole conversation to have. The other piece of it is Clanker then came in and said, yeah, but what if we add a social graph on top of this? And I think, look, I'm bullish Farcaster, obviously. Like half of what we talk about on this show is Farcaster. What are your thoughts about like social graphs under like basically the meme mania being built on top of a social graph like Farcaster? What's the value to it? Is there any value to it, first of all? And if so, what's the value to it?
I I personally think that there is a lot of value in meme coins in the sense of it's not the conventional value if you see it. It's not the value that's like, okay, this you buy this, it gives you that. But it's from an aspect that most people don't see, is value in the form of entertainment and oftentimes makes you laugh. And I think that's the most value you can provide someone if you see it from that perspective, especially in the current age. If a token makes you laugh, or if something makes you laugh or feel something, I think it's a quite high value. Makes your day better in the end, especially if the whole bag is going down.
Dana, what do you think? Like, is there any value to memes being built on a social graph like Farcaster, or is it all the same?
I I guess I haven't seen it. Like, what would be a good example of that? I'm having a hard time.
Okay, so I guess as an example, like Clanker is built on Farcaster, meaning the only way that you can launch a token on Clanker is by calling it through Warpcast, for instance. Like I launched McRugged. By the way, I got rugged like 4 times trying to launch McRugged. There's a whole conversation there about McRugged and about being rugged. Um,
How did you get rugged?
so the first time, funny enough, Chris was talking about Redhead, and this is the reason why I knew about the Ginger token, is when I launched McRug like 2 weeks ago, someone launched the Ginger token at the same time. And basically the way that the bot, the AI agent, because that's what Clanker is an AI agent, it read both their cast and mine at the same time and associated the Ginger token to me and then just ignored McRug. And I was like, it's not what I wanted. I didn't want to launch a Ginger token.
Humpty loves gingers. Didn't know this about you.
I had a couple of redhead girlfriends, but we're not getting into that. That's not the point of this talk, okay? What I'm saying is, oh, I'm gonna get flustered now. Is
Save
that
that one for late night crew.
yeah, or late night. Yeah, that's the late night show. Anyways, McRugged, yeah. So you call the agent and then you say, "Hey, I want to launch this token. I want to create, have it associated to this ticker and this image, da 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 da." Then it creates it and it launches it on the marketplace, and then you can buy it from Clanker.world. So there is a like function that needs a social app or social experience to participate in the ecosystem, especially as a creator. There also then is this association to that token from your social identity. In this case, Humpty on Farcaster launched McRugged, right? So there's this connection. Does that matter, do you think?
I'm like, for me, it's like, would I want my identity tied? If I launched a meme coin, would I want my identity tied to that? Like, my instinct is no,
I
right?
mean,
Like, I don't know. Like, I think maybe I'm just like not the audience for that. But like for me, it's like I don't really get the point of it, I guess.
okay, I'm gonna pitch you something and you let me know, because I'm not gonna share
Okay.
everything that I'm building, but I'm gonna share with you my thesis on.
This is my like secret goal is just to get you to give all the alpha and all the secrets about what you're building.
Read between the lines.
The funny thing is that I spill the beans to you more than anybody else of like what I
Yeah.
build and why I build it. So
The crew.
my ideas of meme is that the more the better. That we're constantly building these cultural artifacts and everything that we do, but we're not capturing the value of it. And so, for example, McRugged actually was born through a conversation that Raven and I were having on this same show a couple of weeks ago, when he and I were talking about wanting to get our Doodles cups and basically getting rugged. Neither of us actually said the word McRug. My own agent then took what we said and created a brand new term called McRugged,
Wow.
which I thought that was like genius. And I was like, well, let's go from one agent to another. Let's take what this agent did and let's create the meme over here with Clanker, which I did. And after several tries, I think it was like 5 or 6 times that I tried to launch it, it finally did. So my idea is that in every pod that we record, there's going to be something that's mimetic that is then going to launch a meme coin. So whether it's something that I've said or the bot, kind of construes into its own jargon, it's going to be a meme coin. And so then the community is going to then decide whether that is worth collecting, right? Is what was said actually a meme? Is it funny? Is it interesting enough to collect? And so we are basically now able to create memes from and capture value from what we're doing generally. Like when you're recording your podcast, Diana, there might be something that you or your guest says that you think is actually spot on, the funniest thing you've ever heard, or spot on, the most important thing you've ever heard. And instead of creating a short, hear me out here, you create a meme. Because I think that that's really kind of how media is also evolving. Is these platforms continue to evolve, these media platforms like YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, where the content keeps getting shorter and shorter, but really what we're trying to capture is the essence of what we're saying. It's just a meme. So in the read write own era of the internet, the Web3 era, we're able to own a piece of that and not give it up to the Web2 platform like YouTube or TikTok. But we create a token and we monetize that. And then we let the market decide whether that is a valuable meme or interesting enough meme for them to also buy into. In my case, I bought 10 million MuckRug, not financial advice, and I'm going to be giving it away. Here's the second part of it. I'm working with OpenRank. So that's part of the alpha. I'm not going to share everything. That's my partner. We're working with OpenRank, and I'm going to be distributing the McRugged and any other future memes that we create from this podcast using their social scores, right? The OpenRank scores, which again are built on top of the Farcaster social graph. So really getting deeper and deeper into the meta of the social graph and not just the meta of the memes. And beyond that, there might be something coming soon that allows the community to participate in creating memes. So that's the piece I'm not going to reveal yet.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think that's a worthwhile experiment to try out for sure. Yeah, I think that's really fun.
So if you're in the audience and you're listening
Interesting.
to this, let us know if you think that this is valuable or not. We don't have any way for you to vote on this yet, but you could definitely comment. But by the way, why comment when you can vote on it with tokens, right? Again, this is kind of a much more accelerated version of Joke Race, Whereas like Joke Race, you set up the campaign and you gotta wait for the campaign to end and you vote. This is literally like go buy the token. That's your vote. Or sell the token. That's not a vote. And you know who was doing this and was almost close to getting at this meta and they just gave up on it is Unlonely.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Why do you say they gave up on it? Are they not still testing it?
They're doing their own thing now. They went from platform to studio.
Yeah, but like are you
Really?
referencing like during a show where you can like during like if it's like a dating show, right?
Yeah.
And it's like two guys, like you can either pump like Humpty token or Chris token.
But see,
Are they not still doing
I don't
that?
want you to pump the Humpty token or the Chris token. I want you to pump what we said.
Oh yeah.
So they were close. And they might still be there. But I know, I mean, look, I love Grace. I think she's a badass. I don't know her brother very well enough. I know a lot of people think he's a dumbass. Whatever. I don't care. I don't know the dude. I know Grace enough to know that she's smart, she's funny, she's capable, and she deserves all the success that she gets. With that said, they realized that it was hard to build a platform because they weren't getting enough creators to use it. So they're now kind of the main they're the main audience for their own product. So they're a studio. Are they going to continue to build up the platform? Are they going to do what I'm foreseeing as the future of memes and media? Maybe, maybe not. But at the end of the day, you can do this too by just launching your own token on Clanker. Right now, if I wanted to, you said a banger, I'd go on Clanker using Farcaster, launch it much faster, much more integrated than I could on Unlonely.
That's true. So for Clanker, do you also have to buy the tokens on Farcaster?
You can now. So there's a bot called Banker. And so you can
Oh,
tell
okay.
Banker to go and buy the token.
But do you have to be part of the Farcaster ecosystem to buy,
Yep.
or can anyone? Okay.
You could go to clanker.world,
Anyone can
connect your wallet the way you would normally to any website or any Web3 site, and then just buy away. You don't have to buy the Mugrug token because you'll get airdrop the Mugrug token. I'm
Oh,
sure.
nice. Nice. I can't wait.
Yeah, and again, this is about connecting community because at the end of the day, for me at least, this is all about community. How can we tie the community into all of these games? You know, there's a social graph, sure, but there's also a participation graph. And anybody who's ever joined the Crypto Sapiens channel, joined the Early Morning Crew channel, commented, engage in some way in those channels, subscribe to the Crypto Sapiens Hyper Sub. Like all of these things for me are signals that there's an intention beyond just like speculative. And so that's how you get rewarded for participating.
I like it. I'm excited to follow along. You've sold me on the social graph thing.
Oh,
No,
Diana.
I think I'm
You know how
cautiously
it goes.
optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Let's say that's where I'm at. I'm intrigued. I'm curious. I'm interested to see where it goes. And I think that's kind of been my attitude towards like decentralized social.
Yeah.
From the beginning I think at the very beginning I was like very bullish on it. And then I think over time I've, my stance has kind of moved to like I'm intrigued, I'm curious, I'm interested to observe and see where it goes, but I don't know. It's been a while.
I mean, it's noisy. I think that's part of the problem, right? I mean, I remember to your point, you were talking about Crash. I remember a time where like Higher, DJ, and Crash, these were the meme coins, and it felt demure, right? It felt like we were experimenting, but with style. Now it's like it's madness. Like you're waking up, you're walking around the mall in your pajamas. All right, I see you, Gen Xers. Like dress up, put on some clothes. Don't walk around the mall in pajamas.
The number of people that I have
Or
seen
Gen
walking
Zers.
around outside in the the Ave pajamas, like the purple pajamas, like the number of yeah, but like my point is they're pajamas, and I've seen so many people post photos of themselves wearing it out in public, like at the store, walking down the street, at the airport, and it's like, bro, these are meant to be pajamas.
Yeah.
Like, do we not have any standards anymore?
We have no style. Like, look, I'm not here to say that I'm better than anyone, but I sure as heck make sure that when I go out, I dress like I'm going outside and not like I'm still inside. And maybe that's the meme for the episode. I don't know. The agent will let me know. That's the thing. Programmatically, it's improving every day.
Yeah. AI
And
agent. AI, I have a question for the agent. Agent, or I have a request. Please let us know if this is a boomer move on Humpty's part to always feel like they have to get dressed up before going outside.
I don't know if it's boomer because the
Should
funny
we
thing is I
vote on
was
Chain? Should we vote on Chain?
do it. Put it up there. Like the funny thing is
Is
we can
Humpty
blend all
boomer?
these things. It's Humpty Boomer. The funny thing is you're
I think
probably
we
gonna
know
get
the
a lot of
answer.
yeses. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of yeses. I
That's
get it.
what...
I'm okay with it. Look, I'm very comfortable with my age, and and
Good.
and how I present myself, and I know. Here's my case for why I'm not a boomer, though. No, the funny thing is, though, like I try to adapt. I've been in the tech space for a very long time. I don't want to say how long, because that'll just make me more of a boomer. But I've been in the space for a long time, so I can very easily get jaded and say, "This doesn't make sense. Get off my yard." Like this is not what tech is or what crypto was meant to be. But at the end of the day, if you look, and I this is what I tweeted. I said, I've long believed memes are at the center of internet culture, and I believe that meme coins are precisely that for on-chain culture. If we're to believe that like there is a web 1, web 2, web 3, there has to be a natural progression to everything. And memes are the language of the internet. Memes to some degree are the currency of the internet. The only thing is that there has been no value capture and value distribution of that cultural artifact. With meme coins, now there is. There's a way to capture value and distribute value of that cultural artifact. And that's the experiment that I'm going to be playing here with Clanker and with my agent, and with this pod and with whatever else I'm working on too.
Ooh, what else are you working on, Humpty?
It's only so much you can drag out of my skull in one day.
I tried.
Yeah. So we talked about memes. We talked about the integration of social. By the way, we're also, like I said, we're streaming on X. And last week we got to 69 streams. That was our, at least our live counter. It kept going after people were rewatching. Live today, we're at 73. So we beat the meta from last week. So Diana, Chris, congratulations. You're more interesting than Raven and Gramajo.
Great. I will be sure to let them know.
Please
Although
do.
do
They're
we
not here
although do
today.
we although is like 73 really a better signal than 69? I feel like
No,
69 wins.
69 wins. And the funny thing is, we were at 67, and I said, I am not stopping this stream until we get to 69. And I closed it as soon as we hit it because I was like, that's it. That's what we're here for. The next one, obviously, worth celebrating is 420 streams. 420.
Dang, we've got a long ways to go till 420.
Yeah, we're getting there though. The fact of the matter is,
Yeah.
the more we do this, because we only started live streaming like 2-3 weeks ago. Like Chris mentioned before this, we were on Tavern. Now we're on X and YouTube. People are discovering the conversation. People are discovering your personalities. People are voting with their eyeballs. Now to say we think that they're spicier. The other people were not as spicy. They were more agreeable. The internet does not like agreeable. They like chaos.
I'm very agreeable. I don't know what you're talking about.
Diana, you are not agreeable. And that's a good thing. Stop being a boomer, Diana.
I also embrace my boomerness.
Yeah.
Although I'm just not quite as boomer as you are. There are levels to this.
See what I gotta deal with? The internet. Okay, this is probably the second meme for the week. It's like Diana and Humpty, boomer versus boomer.
It's not even close. It is not even close. I'm telling you, there are so many layers to this, and you are at such a different level than I
Fair. All right.
am.
Anyways, let's move on. The next thing I wanted to talk about was last week, Farcaster introduced starter packs. Have either of you got a chance to play with it yet? Have you seen the Creator Starter Pack that I shared last week?
No, but I keep getting tagged in stuff relating to creator starter packs, and I have no idea what it is. So I would very
Oh,
much like to know.
wait. I didn't realize that this notified you that you were in a starter
No, no,
pack.
no, no. Like people are like, oh, I'm making this starter pack for X, Y, and Z. I think the one that I kept getting tagged in was like the Farcast her group.
Yeah.
They were making a starter pack and people kept tagging me in it, and I was like, I have no idea what this is, but I'm in.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna tag me in the Farcaster starter pack. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
probably
might be a
not.
boomer, but yeah, apparently no. I don't identify as a Farcast her. You know what's
I didn't
funny
think
about
so.
that is that I for the longest time didn't join that channel because I was like, it's gonna be disrespectful for me to like that's very boomer, right? It's like that's gonna be very disrespectful. That's not for me. I gotta respect that that's for the ladies in the Farcaster. And I was like, wait, no, like, I'm an ally. Like I'm here to support, women of Web3. And then I was like, okay, I'll join. Like, as an audience member, as a viewer, I suppose. I don't think I'm a member. I don't You need to be
Hmm.
her, I think, to be a member.
That
Oh, it
makes
looks like
sense.
Chris had to drop off. Okay, cool. Thanks,
Oh,
Chris. Good having you. Um, so then yeah, starter packs. So is that the only starter pack you got added to or tagged
I
in?
think so. I will be honest that I have not been on Warpcast very much over the last month while I've been traveling.
That's probably a good thing.
Um, but that is the one that I remember being tagged in. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that this is both fun but also unimportant. It just feels like
Okay.
Twitter lists, right?
Okay, that's
And
all it is.
but it's like minus the browsing capabilities. Like when I'm on, and I'll call it Twitter till the day I die. I'm a boomer. What do you want? I can't remember too many words. I
You were
remember.
calling it X before. I was
I
gonna
know.
call you out on calling it X.
I know. I'm a boomer. I change my mind all the time. Actually, that's the opposite of a boomer. A boomer doesn't change their mind about anything. Um, yeah. So with lists on X, aka Twitter, you can create this list of people you follow or accounts you follow, and then you can browse X looking only at those accounts you follow. So you're basically just
Mhm.
browsing your list feed, which I think is actually really fun. Like I have quite a few feeds using lists, especially for client work. Like if someone's in the decentralized identity space, I have lists following all of the DID projects so I can see what they're saying. What's the meta there? What are some of the things that we can incorporate or things that are surfacing? Same for podcasters, creators like yourself. Like I have a list of that. It's like, what are people talking about? I want to listen to, the things that you're sharing on social. On Farcaster, my list, so I'm opening my creators list, is pinned on my Farcaster account at Humpty. I can see I have roughly, let's say 25 people on this list. They're all people that I follow, respect, enjoy the content that they share. It says these are creators that are covering Farcaster and the products and experiences built on top of it. So if you want to go and follow them all, you can, but I can't
Mm.
explore the feed of these people only. I would love that.
Right.
I would love to basically start segmenting my feeds by starter packs or lists.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I'm on this list.
Yeah, hell yeah, you're on this list. Obviously, you're on
Yeah,
this list.
so I guess like what to that point then, like what is the point of this list if there's like not much you can do with it other than follow everybody on it?
I think it's just like a fun little featurette
Mm,
of the system. I do think though that this might play a bigger role as channels start becoming mini apps, mini experiences of their own, where a channel or channel host shares a list of people that are useful to the people that they're onboarding. So in this case, if you're coming into the Crypto Sapiens app, let's just call it that. Let's not even call it a channel anymore. I meet you somewhere and I say, hey, oh, that's great. You're a creator. You want to learn more about crypto. You want to learn how on chain tools can help you. Sign up to the Crypto Sapiens app, AKA
mhm.
you're signing up to Farcaster and the Crypto Sapiens channel. Here are the top 20 people that I would say follow from this app. And these are basically this is part of the onboarding experience where you don't know who your tribe is, but I'm trying to help you find people who are going to be helpful to you in your experience of learning about crypto, learning about creator tools that are leveraging on-chain tools, right? Or the on-chain ecosystem.
Yeah. I
That's
think
it.
there's a lot of I think there's like probably a lot of potential there too with stuff that you could do with these. And I wonder if the Farcast or if the why am I blanking on what the team is called? Merkle.
Merkle team, yeah.
Merkle team. Yeah, well, I wonder like how they're thinking about this and what they have in the pipeline for
Yeah.
this. Because I feel like this is just like I feel like they wouldn't have built this as a standalone thing if they didn't have a longer term plan for it.
Yeah. Me being the degenerate that I am, when I hear starter pack, sorry, I'm a collector. I collect a lot of things. Crypto is not my first rodeo. I have like the OG Pokemon set. I have like collectible Gundams, and I'm not gonna say what else. I collect way too many things. Like I'm not a hoarder. I'm a collector. Okay, let's make that
Okay.
clear.
Said every hoarder ever.
Said every boomer ever.
I'm not a hoarder, I'm just a collector.
Exactly. Look,
What's that TV show? What's that hoarder TV show? I'm
I forget.
sure plenty of people have said that on that show.
Yeah. Look, my office does not look like I'm a hoarder. I'm a collector. I present my things. I have like acrylic cases for some of the things that I collect. Okay. I'm a collector. Things are
It's so
organized.
funny. Your walls are like completely covered in art, and I have nothing on my walls.
Well, we're not seeing all
Partly-
your walls though. We're seeing like a cubby, right?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I have like nothing on my walls. Part of it is like I don't really know how to like nail a frame on the wall. But part of it
There's
is just-
tools for that.
Yes.
And there's different products you can use because like back there, that's
Mhm.
drywall, right? So it's like hollow. So there's certain
That's just the thing is like I don't even know what kind of wall I have.
Yeah.
So like whenever I talk to people about it, they're like, "Oh yeah, well if you have drywall, then it's like this." And I'm like, it's already over my head. How do I
Well,
know
most
what kind
people
of
have
wall I have?
drywall. Yeah, but the thing is, if it's like a wood frame house, which again most houses are, you just have to find the stud for some of the heavier things.
This is
And-
already so beyond me. How do I know if I
Okay.
have a wood frame house?
Well, so most houses are. I think some have different types of framing, but most houses, like the internet's gonna be like, Humpty, all houses are wood frame house.
The internet's gonna roast me for being literally like the most incompetent handyman.
Agent, make a
on the
meme
face
out
of
of
the
this.
earth.
There you go. But yeah, there's like stud finders, little devices that you like run across your wall, and then it'll beep when you've hit a stud, and that's where you put your nail. And so you basically are driving a nail through the drywall into the wood beam, which makes it that much more secure. If you don't have a stud behind it, which means a wood beam behind that piece of drywall,
Mhm.
if you put a piece of nail, the thing is, if it's really heavy, the nail is going to start weighing down and it's just going to
Right.
fall and it's going to
Yeah.
leave this huge hole. So there's like different types of devices you can use to basically secure heavy things onto just drywall, which basically creates almost like this little clamp on both sides. So now there's like that much more rigidity.
So step one is go buy a stud finder.
Yes.
What if where the studs are in my house is not where I want to hang my painting?
Yeah, then that's when you use different types of either nails or screws that have like a butterfly back. So when you're using the
okay.
screw, it goes in like a screw, but as you're screwing it, the back starts like creating this like clamp.
Expanding.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So now
okay.
it doesn't come out, and it doesn't like kind of like start weighing down and ripping your wall.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
why
so-
I've always wondered why like
Yeah.
some things come with that butterfly thing
Yep.
and then other things don't.
Yeah.
And okay, that makes a lot
Yeah.
more sense.
And
Thank you.
there's some hooks then also that is literally just a nail, but on the front it's like a little triangle, and that little triangle basically adds a little weight against the wall so it doesn't pull down. It's all constantly like this double pressure point where the nail on the back is on an angle and the little hook on the front is putting pressure against the wall. So, and they have those,
Oh.
so you don't have to actually put like a screw, and they come for different weights. Like I have some that are rated for like 500 pounds. I'm like, Not putting anything up on my wall that's 500 pounds. But thank you.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
That thing back there is a hook, and it's coming down. I'm getting something else. I have more stuff on this wall. The funny thing is, a lot of these things are NFT art. These two are some of my first NFTs that I collected that the artist then printed for me. Over here is also another NFT that was printed by the artist. That Farcon poster is technically an NFT. So yeah,
Oh, okay. I like it. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the like minimalist look. Like I just like a blank slate, very clean. Those plants aren't even mine. We had like a tenant living here while we were gone since August, and she's still here, and she put all of these. So like none of these plants are even mine.
those are pretty, by the way. I love those plants. I have a ton of plants. My wife is like, "That's enough." The living room is a bit like a jungle.
But
I
like
don't,
you said, you're not a hoarder. You're just a
I'm a
collector.
collector.
Uh-huh.
Those
Okay.
plants, by the way, you have behind you are exotic plants, and yes, people do collect those.
Are they? How do you
Yes,
know?
you know because you don't see those growing outside in the street. Like a
So
lot
they're
of
not
those are
weeds?
no, a lot of those are actually imported from Asia. Like that one that you're showing now is
Yeah.
probably like some Indonesian breed.
What?
Yeah, no, like you look it
How do
up.
you
Like
know these things? Okay, I kind of want to use my I have this plant finder
there
or
you
this
go.
plant identifier app.
Yeah, I think
I'm
that's
gonna see
something
if you're
leopard.
right. I have to
Yeah.
re-download it because I haven't looked up plants in a while. But
The
now I'm like very curious where this is from. If it actually says that's a plant from Indonesia, I'm
yeah, no, like a lot of these plants they import them illegally actually. So but then
oh,
they propagate and it's a little like then they become quote unquote native because they're being bred here,
okay,
but they're
okay. Moment of
originally
truth.
imported. Um, this is the other meme. We have 79 viewers on X. Thank you for your patience while we look
Okay,
to
wait, I
determine the origin of this new meme plant that we're going to be minting once this episode is over. Whatever it's called, that's going to be the name of the coin.
Okay, it says it's a rattlesnake plant, but then the photos it's showing me, I don't know if it's
It
right.
it does look like it's a rattlesnake plant. Where does it say it's from originally?
This is an evergreen herbaceous perennial native to the Brazilian jungle.
Brazilian. Yeah. There's a
Let me
couple of
just
countries that
confirm because I think this is the same one.
uh it looks
Or
a
is it
little
different?
different. Looks different. I think I own the one that you just took a picture of.
Oh, it's either a red leaf philodendron
Yeah,
or
sounds about right.
a Goepersha or nata.
Yep. The philo, by the way, the philo family is probably one of the more common families, so it's probably not that.
Oh, you're just determined that these are exotic, not common plants.
Yeah. Well, you
What
have
about
your
this guy though?
yeah, that's oh gosh, what is that called? I can't keep any of those alive. I've tried to own them like 3 times and they always die. I think I overwater them because they're a succulent.
Chinese money plant. Oh my
Oh, is that what it
God.
is? That's
I need
right.
that. That sounds like
Sounds like you're keeping
we're
that
going to
one.
the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, you could take these plants, but you got to leave the
Yeah.
Chinese money plant. We need that for crypto to win.
For generational wealth.
Exactly. GM 80 viewers. All right, look at us. We might make 420
Okay,
today.
nice.
Who
We did it.
knows?
Should I
We'll
scan
see.
some more plants? Do people
Scan
like the
some.
plants?
Yeah, take pictures of them because you're gonna be calling Clanker after this is done, and you're gonna launch a couple of meme coins. This is the task for today. Is we're gonna get Diana to launch a couple of meme
I
coins.
said when I launch a meme coin, I don't want my name tied to it.
Fine, send me the pictures. I'll do it.
My husband is a lawyer and he has prohibited me from launching meme coins or any coins.
Did you tell him that apparently meme coins are one of the few things that is okay to do in the U.S.?
Is
Like
that
if you
true?
like it's I don't know how true that is, but I know that
I feel like you just made that up.
no. Like, okay, I was laughing about this with some friends who are like American crypto enthusiasts who've always wanted to do something with tokens, but we know we shouldn't. Is that there seems to be a lot more openness and acceptance of meme coins because they don't have a utility. They're strictly a joke. It's like it used to be that like if it didn't have a utility, right, passing the Howey test, then it was a security and you were in trouble, right? Because there's potential like profits and gains to be had. When it's utility, that's what you were searching. Utility then became almost something that you didn't want. In the last couple of years has been kind of changing the narrative where like utility is like, that's the bad man. Whereas now, if it literally is a shit coin or worthless, that's okay.
Yeah, but there's still potential for future gain.
Well, if that's what you intended to be, if it's purely a joke, then there's no value attached to it. My value of it is, haha, it's a joke. Don't buy this token. Obviously. Don't buy this token.
Obviously.
Yeah,
obviously. I mean, we're recording right now, so obviously that's what you're going to say.
I'll tell you this one, we're just one-on-one. Don't buy my shit tokens. I'm going to give it to you for free anyways. So you can have a piece of internet culture. That's it. You own a piece of internet culture.
Fair. Well, I will send you some photos of these plants and give you full license to meme the shit out of these plants.
There you go. Meme the shit is going to be the name of the token. And it's going to be beautiful plants. So, it's kind of a bit of an oxymoron there.
Speaking of shit, though, when I was in Taiwan, there's this night market there that's really popular, and there's these have you heard of these toilet restaurants?
What?
Like, they're like toilet and poop themed restaurants. No. So like all the bowls that you eat out of are shaped like a toilet bowl. And then there's like the like food that they make, a lot of the desserts, they like make it look like turd.
No. What is wrong with us?
Why?
Exactly.
Like how is this appetizing? Like I wouldn't go eat there if you paid me. I just couldn't. Like it's not appetizing. I'd be like gagging.
It's not even Instagram worthy.
Right, because who wants like pictures of toilets and poop on their social?
Like
I guess if you're like a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
But
well, that's their target audience.
Yeah, but how many 12-year-old boys are there in the world?
Then again, you also got to understand it's Taiwan. Like cultures are very different. Like,
yeah,
I can't speak for Taiwan, but I can speak for Japan because we've been there plenty of times. And I'm not a Japanese person, but hey, as an American who's been to Japan, I can speak on behalf of the Japanese culture.
You know everything, yeah.
Of course, yeah. That's who I am, a boomer who thinks he knows everything. You walk in there and you know that Japanese culture is very different. Like a lot of things that here would be like taboo, over there's like a subculture that appreciates it and like is proud of what that represents. Maybe in Taiwan, there's a subculture of people that enjoy toilets and poop.
Fair enough. Yeah. There's like a whole chain of these restaurants too. It's not just like one standalone restaurant. Like it's a chain.
Oh, it sounds about right. Yeah. I don't know what to do with that though. So it's up to you to lead this conversation now.
Shoot, how do we get here? It's because I said meme the shit out of it.
Yeah.
What else do you want to talk about with meme coins?
I feel like we're missing. I see what you're doing here, by the way. You're good. It's this lawyer background. Because the questions are just open enough where someone can fall into a trap very easily.
There is no
I've been in a courtroom a time or two. I know how this works.
For what? Tell us those stories.
As a juror. Okay. Gosh, look. You were like, ooh, it's gonna get spicier. Actually, it was just my wife just served jury duty, and we were laughing because I was like, or not laughing, but I was like, oh yeah, I actually enjoyed my jury duty when I got called in. She's never been called in. She always gets dismissed. I was like, I don't know how or why they think I'm gonna be a good juror, but I get selected. But I enjoy my time. I it's part of our civil duty, and it actually has been fun to participate in the judicial system in one way or the other.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
I did. They didn't pay me. No one paid me because I'm self-employed, so I didn't get paid for a week.
Yeah, but like we work in DAOs, so we're used to free labor. Should I tweet that?
Yeah, DAOs are not gonna make it. And GMI. Yeah, you should.
As I'm like co-launching a DAO podcast miniseries with hats.
Yeah, tell us more about that too,
I
by the
can't
way.
say that. Oh yeah, it's I am doing like a 6-part miniseries with Hats Protocol, and we're just doing like deep dives on DAOs and talking to some of the smartest people in the space. So we just launched episode 1 last week, and that was with Tracheopteryx from
Yeah.
Eigen
He's
Foundation.
still
That was
around?
a really good. Yeah, he's still around. I guess his
Okay,
bags
I
haven't
saw
blown
him
up
because
enough yet.
yeah. Well, I mean, I know a Drake from the early days from Yearn.
Is that? I feel like there is only one Trake.
There's only one Drake.
It's
Maybe
got
he
to be the
wants to
same
be
person.
disassociated from that. Sorry, Drake.
Yeah, maybe.
He was from Coordinape.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about the same person.
Yeah. I mean, okay. The way it happened is like Coordinape was born out of Yearn because they needed a governance system.
Okay.
And so they use that as their governance system, social governance system in their project. And then Coordinape became its own product. And I think anybody who's been in a DAO knows what Coordinape is. For those of you who don't know what Coordinape is, basically allows for your peers to pay you versus like some sort of central body to determine what your worth is. So if you're doing really awesome stuff every month, there's like funds that are put into a wallet, for lack of a better term, and then those funds get distributed based on the number of votes you got from your peers, and everybody votes at the same time. Usually those votes are hidden until the final distribution. And sometimes I think you just keep them hidden altogether. But the distribution basically is like, okay, there's 10 people in a group, 5 people voted for me, two people for you, one for another. Then when the funds get distributed, they get distributed weighted by the number of votes you got. So that's what Coordinape was. I really love it. I think it's still around, but it
Yeah.
sounds like Drake is now working with Eigenlayer. That's interesting.
Yeah. Eigen Foundation, which is technically a separate entity,
Oh,
I believe. But yeah, I think he's like the governance lead at Eigen Foundation.
makes sense.
Yeah.
He's always been heavily involved in all those things.
Yeah. But yeah, so that episode just came out. Really good episode. We actually recorded that one live at MCon. So it's a little old. It's coming out a little late, but like because it was recorded live, you can feel the energy of like of all of us being in the same room together, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we have more coming out the rest of we have another one coming out tomorrow with Rafa. I think that's the first time I said that publicly. So
alpha.
So you can expect that. Yeah, dropping some alpha on this early morning crew, We gotta give the people something. I mean, you've dropped so much alpha already. I feel like pressured to say something somewhat interesting. You're back. Something is happening with Humpty right now.
Technical difficulties. My mixer.
He's a boomer.
I don't know where you're hearing me from, but my mixer just died, so I need to plug it into another source of energy. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Nope,
I can hear you.
I can't hear you still, so I think it might just
really?
be...
Oh. I can hear you just fine. Now I hear myself as well. Now I don't hear you.
Hang on.
Now I hear you. Back. All right. What is up, people? I have the stage all to myself. This is a very scary thing that I could potentially make Humpty regret as the host of this show on Crypto Sapiens. Oh, he's back already.
Test.
I can hear you.
Okay. The audio is going to sound really different from when we started to now when we're done with this. Because
worries.
Yeah, this is weird. My mixer took a dump, but now it's not connecting the way that it normally would. So I don't know what happened there. Anyways,
send it to the toilet restaurant.
There you go.
It belongs.
So you were talking about the podcast and Rafa. Rafa wasn't he? I actually don't know if it's a he or a they or a she. So apologies for that. But they were with Mirror, right? They were.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I do know
Yep.
who they are.
And then now they're at ZK.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. What's going on at ZK? ZK Zinc?
Uh-huh. ZK
Okay.
Sync. ZK Nation is like the DAO
Oh,
part of ZK. So I think Rafa runs ZK Nation, but is also at ZK Sync. Yeah, all of these like big protocols have like a governance, like a foundation, all these different pieces to it.
what are you trying to say, Diana?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just stating the facts.
Why do they have a DAO? I thought they're not gonna make it.
Who said that? Who told you that?
I don't know. Anyways, by the way, I want to acknowledge we have people on YouTube chatting, and I totally missed it
Oh shit, what are
because
they
I've
saying?
been watching the stream and the count go up on X, and I totally ignored you all on YouTube. Sorry about that. But Disco and Tori are in there. Disco's been following the conversation from the beginning and appreciating the McGrug joke. Tori saying that you can use command strips for hanging up your stuff on the walls.
Do those
So
hold a lot of weight though? I feel like those like never really work that well.
I've tried them for things that are not terribly heavy. Like I would not use a command strip on that painting over
Yeah.
there, which by the way I painted when I was younger. So
Oh
GM. Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Didn't know you
yeah.
were an artiste.
Oh
You
yeah,
should
the
be selling your
tattoo.
works of art on chain.
There you go. Because I'm gonna make money off of NFTs.
Don't
Uh,
laugh. Wait, don't laugh. Who was it that I just saw? Was it Lindau? Did you see that?
Lindau?
Yeah.
Is this like a Linda Dow or something? Or wait, what is this?
No, it's just this girl called Linda.
Oh,
She just made, where was this? Oh my God, she tweets so much I can't even find it now.
wow.
Um, she said someone just bought this NFT that she put up for 8.888 ETH.
Wow. But see, I feel like you have to, okay, like everything else, you have to be consistent and you have to be putting up that type of work. Like the things that people know
I
me
don't think she
for.
does though. I think honestly, I think we are just back in that part of the cycle.
All right, I'm gonna put it on chain then and see what happens.
Exactly. What do you
Um,
have to lose?
yeah. I was gonna say the tattoo on my left calf is part of a drawing that I did when I was like 13 and I was like in the middle of teenage angst.
Whoa.
And I drew something that was representative of that angst. And then when I was older, they're like, "What do you want tattooed on your left calf?" Because everybody gets asked that question once in their life. And I was like, "It should be this drawing," which, by the way, I happen to have on my phone, and that's why it's there.
Wow.
Yeah, I.
You're full of stories. This is why I just keep throwing the questions back at you because, you know.
Well, the funny thing is, I was there to support a girlfriend who was getting a tattoo, and suddenly the tattoo artist was like, "Are you getting anything?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And it was probably one of the more painful tattoos that I've gotten.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, Tori's with the alpha here saying that your Apple camera, I'm assuming you have an iPhone, has a built-in plant finder app.
Built in? Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
So you don't need to
That,
download. My guess is like you just aim your phone on it and there's like a what is this
no
button.
way.
So you
What?
might get a better
How does this
name.
work? Do I
I
have
have
to take a
no.
photo? Oh, maybe it's like the dog breed identifier thing.
See, you would know that. Of course you would know. You don't know about plants, but don't get you started on dogs.
Oh.
Did it
Okay,
work?
yeah, yeah, it did. It's just like the dog breed identifier. So you just take a photo of it and then you
Yeah.
like press down on the object on the plant
Yeah.
and then it'll tell you. So this also comes up as rattlesnake plant
Okay. So we
or
know that's what it is. Oh.
a jungle velvet.
Ooh, no, it's not a jungle velvet. The back would be a little different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're such a plant expert.
So during the pandemic, like I hate saying that because it's like, when was that? In 2020, I, like many people, became obsessed with buying plants. Because what else were you gonna do? You were stuck indoors.
I mean,
And
I got a dog
Is that when Toby came into your life?
Yeah. Like
Oh,
two
how
weeks into COVID.
cute.
I was like I was like getting cabin fever like
Yeah.
before quarantine was even implemented, like when they were just announcing it. And then at that time,
You're gonna have to stay
like
indoors. Ah, what's going on? Day
sweating.
one.
It was like day like -3.
Oh no.
I was like done. But oh yeah, back then like people were saying that it was harder to apply for a dog than it was to apply for a job. Like all the shelters were getting cleared
Yeah.
out, which is a really great thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, let me just put in an application for a couple of dogs. Like we're not gonna get it. Like neither myself, nor my husband grew up with dogs.
Yeah.
And so we have no experience. There's like no reason for them to pick us out of all of the people to like
Right.
adopt this dog, right? And so we did that, and then we did it for two dogs, and within like 2 days, we got callbacks for both of them. And
That's
Toby was
nice.
obviously one of them. But yeah, so we got Toby like 2 weeks into COVID. And it worked out really well because like when you're stuck at home and have nothing else to do,
Yeah.
turns out training a dog is a really fun thing to occupy yourself with.
And you're an
That
amazing dog
and
mom.
starting a podcast. Those are the two things I did when
So
COVID started.
Toby and Rehash were
Yeah.
born
Uh-huh.
in 2020.
Yeah.
Nice. Wait, was Toby a puppy or was Toby like an older dog?
He was like 5 or 6 months old
Oh,
at that
okay.
time. So not like a baby, but like
Yeah.
not an adult.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was about to say, was it like toilet trained, but dogs don't get toilet trained. They need to go outside.
He
Not
I
like
mean potty
cats.
train is still a thing. There's no toilet,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like peeing and pooping outside.
Yeah.
He was potty trained, but he
Oh.
came from this like farm in Tennessee, and we lived in a condo building in Chicago. So we had to kind of retrain. Like he was trained on a doggy door, he could go in and out. We
Yeah.
had to kind of retrain him to like you have to, like the balcony is not outside, even though
Yeah.
it is, but it's not like peeing territory. And then
Got
like
it.
exiting our condo itself and
Yeah.
going into the hallway, you're still not
Yeah.
outside, even though
Oh
you're like outside
gosh.
our unit. So
Yeah.
there was some retraining involved there, but all of that only lasted like less than a week. Like it was super quick.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
good. And we love Toby. Toby has a Dow. Not
he
gonna
does.
make it.
What? His
Dows
now
are
is
not gonna
gonna
make
make
it.
it.
That literally was the
There
meta of today's
there
call based
are
on what
there
you
are
said.
except I did not say such things.
Oh man, we're just look, we were pretty spicy for a while. You forgot. You've forgotten how spicy we
I'm
got.
backtracking now. I'm getting
Yeah.
nervous.
Obviously Diana would never say that. Diana is probably the biggest Dow head I know. You're the biggest Dow Maxi. Okay.
Thank
Not
you. Thank
financial
you.
advice. Yes, of course. You are the biggest Dow Maxi. I mean, Rehash is a Dow. Rehash operates as a Dow. For me, that's always been really interesting that you went with that because that is extremely nerve-wracking. Like I could not say, "Hey, by the way, go and find or source my guests." Like
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm a control freak. I don't know if that's just the way that media doesn't work for me. But that would make me nervous. And you said, no, the community's going to go and decide who I'm going to talk to, what we're going to talk about. That's
I
nerve
mean,
wracking.
it is nerve-wracking. Yeah, I completely agree. It was extremely scary at first, and I was also very ready for Rehash to be an experiment that fails in 2 months.
Right.
And it just so happened that we're now, more than 2.5 years into it and still doing it. And at this point, like I will say, it's not really nerve-wracking for me anymore because the community has proven itself to
Yeah.
come through season after season. And honestly, like the guests that I get through the community are even better than the people I could source myself. Like I've been introduced to so many cool people from the community who I wouldn't have met on my own. Like this season alone, we had an SEC commissioner. We had like the arguably like the biggest leader of like the biggest degenerate crypto group chat out there. We had an Olympic athlete who's the first athlete to create content and put it on chain. Like the diversity, like the kinds of guests we get are like I couldn't have brought
Yeah.
any of these people on my own. So I at this point, like I think I have enough trust in the community where it's not so nerve-wracking for me anymore. But it's a scary thing, but it's like one of those like high risk, high reward type
Yeah.
things, I would say.
So two questions. The first, which I think is low hanging and easy. The second one probably harder. So you choose which one you want to take on first. The first one is, how was it hosting like rehash house or hash house?
Hmm.
Because I think that's really cool to bring a community IRL. Always a fan of like URL IRL experiences. So I want to hear about that and really what it took and how, like, what now, having walked away from it for a couple of weeks, having a time to assess what everything that happened. What are your takeaways? What would you do to improve? The other question is, Rehash itself was an experiment when things were popping and like there was a lot of new things like DAOs are, it was DAO summer then. What are some of the experiments you think like Rehash would need to do today to kind of take on some of these new narratives?
Yeah, that is the $1 million question, isn't it? How do we keep it like iterating and
Yeah,
innovating
yeah.
to stay relevant?
I don't know to stay
Um,
relevant. I don't think that that's fair, but to integrate some of the new narratives.
yeah. So I actually the way I think about this maybe is like counterintuitive and therefore maybe is just wrong. But the way I think about it is almost like now that we're going back into a bull market, it's almost like this is the time to go hard on the web 2 side of things, like the trad side of things, and focus on the distribution.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I always said I wanted to do is present crypto and present these learnings in a way that's understandable to people who are just broadly in tech. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to say that's understandable to everybody because like I don't expect grandmas to understand, any of this, but anybody who has like a base understanding of tech, anyone who works in like a tech startup or something, I want this podcast to be understandable to them. Now, I had to let go of that goal for a while during the bear market because there was no audience. Like everyone hated crypto. No one outside of crypto was going to listen to my podcast. So I was like, I have to meet people where they're at. I have to give the people what they want. And the people right now are crypto natives. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of where the podcast went for the last couple of years. Now though, like it might be the time to like go back to that original vision of making content that's understandable and approachable to everyone now that we have an audience again. And also to focus on distribution now that we have the opportunity, like now that we have that audience and that
Mm-hmm.
interest from like the general public. So I don't know. I always said like during the bear market that was the time to really experiment and innovate because things were slow. Everything was low stakes. There was like hardly any money involved. And so that was the time to experiment, figure out
Mm-hmm.
what worked, and then implement it like full on once the bull market is here. And I think that's kind of the stage that I'm at this point.
So distribution more than, I don't want to use the word innovation because I think that you're still innovating, but it's not like technical innovation. It's more like how can you expand your reach or
Yeah,
your
it's
audience? Yeah.
it's like we've experimented with these things. We figured out what works and what doesn't. Now
Yeah.
let's like make the things that work like super robust.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, that's kind of like how I've been thinking. We've had this conversation and I'm leaning into my creator persona even further in 25. So, new channels, more of a focus on YouTube, um, a clearer audience, but still bringing it back to everything that I do in the on-chain space. So, yeah, agreed. I think that's wonderful. Are you seeing like one? Are you thinking one platform more than another? Like, are you thinking you're entering your TikToker era? And is that where you're like capturing the hearts and minds of tech people everywhere?
Actually, like TikTok is not a bad place. There is definitely a crypto audience there. We've been posting stuff on TikTok, just like clips from podcasts, not like any original content that I've made. But I have been thinking of like ways to make original content. Like for
Mhm.
example, when we were in Bangkok, we did a little like collab with the guys from Parable. So
Mhm.
Keeks and JJ had this like little,
I
mic,
remember I
this
was
tiny
interviewed.
mic. Exactly. You were interviewed. Yeah. And so he was going around to all these parties and events and stuff, like interviewing people like he did with you at that bar that one night. And I was just thinking like first of all, like I because I was so amazed by the sound quality that that mic picked up because I ended up recording this 11-minute like vlog essentially of myself on the back of a motorbike. Oh, which you saw and you oh,
Highly recommend these. They're not
I
terribly
was
expensive
no.
either. They're worth the price.
Okay.
The Rode wireless mics.
Okay, okay,
We're
good to
not
know.
sponsored by them, but hey, it'd be nice.
But
A
we could
person can
be.
dream. Yes.
um, what was it? Oh yeah, so I was like filming as you saw that clip of me on the back of the motorbike,
That was
and the sound quality
horrifying.
was so good. The sound quality was so good. I could barely hear myself
Yep.
in real time as I was filming it because like the wind and like everything, and
Yeah.
the sound quality still came through. So then I was thinking of like other. I was like, how else could I use this like nifty little tool?
Right.
And I was thinking like, what if I mic myself up when I'm skiing and like doing stuff in nature
Yeah.
and just talk about like random crypto stuff,
Yep.
or
I
like
love it.
whatever, like stuff like that. So I do have new ideas for content in the back of my mind all the time, but I think like really it's just doubling down on what has worked
Mhm.
and cranking out more content and seeing how far we can go.
One of my favorite YouTubers um, started a brand called Iron Snail, and it is all like outdoor uh, apparel. So like
Mhm.
jackets and boots, and because this is what I watch when I'm not working or talking about crypto. Is I love to watch YouTubers walk around in the forests of New York and upstate New York and talk about the boots that they're wearing. But he's very silly. Like he's like definitely like millennial Gen Zer.
Okay.
He's very funny. I love. He's very witty, but he's very intelligent and can basically communicate these things about the apparel that he's wearing or like how something is made, but in these very picturesque scenic backgrounds. I can see you doing something similar, where you're walking around with Toby, and now Toby is your co-star. And it's like, so some of you guys have been asking about Bitcoin, right? Okay, so what is Bitcoin? And like, I would watch that. I would totally watch that.
Yeah.
Probably YouTube and not TikTok because I'm a boomer, but whatever.
We put it on all the platforms,
Yeah,
we're platform maxing.
yeah. But what I've heard is like when it comes to TikTok, the stuff that performs the best, and because I've been doing research on this too, is you need to almost think of it as if you're FaceTiming a friend. So
Hmm.
you need it's not a faceless thing. Like when your face is there, when you're present, when you're communicating something, it performs better. It's the reason why Jordan, right, one of these TikTokers, is doing really well because he's always holding his phone and he's talking to you about
Yeah.
something. So I think
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you in your TikTok era.
Yeah. I just want to be like zooming down the mountain on my skis, you know, talking about something.
Sorry, someone's vacuuming. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. Hopefully you can't.
Oh, yeah. I heard it a little bit, but it's
Okay,
like not distracting.
whatever. I'm gonna call. Let's turn on the vacuum.
Vacuuming is a good thing. We support it.
Yeah, no, we do for sure. Just not while I'm recording. But what are we gonna do? Anyways, that means
What
the
can you
house is getting
do?
cleaned. Yeah, no, nothing.
Yes, exactly. Oh, and then to your other question about DevCon Hash House, I mean, I'm curious to hear your perspective too, as a resident of Hash House.
Yeah,
So
by the
back,
way, thank you for that. That was awesome.
yeah, of course, yeah. It's just I want to give back to the community, and
Yeah.
like obviously Rehash isn't like a hyper liquid that can do like a big token drop and really reward people financially in that way. But we do what we can when
Yeah.
we can. So anyway, like for context, Rehash House was a big mansion we got in Bangkok and hosted live podcast shows from every evening during DEF CON. And the house was sick. Um, your money goes a long way in Thailand, I will say. But Humpty was one of the people that stayed at Hash House, as well as about like five other people. And every evening we hosted live rehash shows, which will be airing shortly. My biggest takeaways, I think I was so also for context, I finally just got home last night for the first time since August. So when I was at DEF CON, like I had not been home since August. I'd been pretty much like traveling for 3 months and was already really tired. And then I got kind of sick, like with that like weird thing that I had during DEF CON. Like I just like I've been having this like pain on the like my right side, like under my rib cage, which just like flared up super hard during Thailand. So I was sort of just like in pain for a lot of the week and pushing through that. So I wish obviously that, health wise, like I was in a better condition to like really enjoy it. I think that hosting live shows every night was very ambitious, especially in a city like Bangkok, which has really bad traffic and it's really hard to get around, especially if you're unwilling to motorbike around like some people are. If you can motorbike,
I
it's
did
like,
it once. Would not recommend to a friend. Maybe to an enemy. Would not recommend to a friend.
I think that you had some issues with your technique. I think it was user error. Because
A
like so
hundred
many,
percent user error. I wish there was a drone following me the whole ride. My body was in such an awkward position. I was like hanging on like this, like with a
yeah,
backpack behind me that was like weighing me down, and I was like, "Oh, this is horrible."
you were doing way too much. Like
Oh
you should
yeah.
have done a lot less and just relaxed a
I
bit
feel
and you
like
would have
if I
been
did a
good.
lot less, I'd be lying a couple miles back.
No, it's counterintuitive, but actually like the less you do, the more stable you are.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
You just needed to like take a couple shots before you got on or something. Like something to relax your nerves. But
Totally. That's what I needed.
okay,
I'm
I
telling
can't
you,
help
I
you.
I love that you enjoyed it. I love that you got the hang of it. I tried it once and I was like, I love the train. I love the little water
The
bus
train
that
just
was
doesn't go
behind the
it doesn't
house.
go yeah, but it doesn't take you everywhere you need to go. The
Right,
train is just so limited.
but there's last mile things like the water bus. The water bus was cool.
That's
That was like
good.
behind the house. Like
Yeah.
it literally got me everywhere I needed to get to like in 10 minutes.
It got you to the conference?
Well, no, I took the water bus to the train and the train all the way down to the conference. But like literally
Oh.
got me to the station that was going to the train in like 10 minutes. Like it was so fast. Because there's no traffic. It's just a boat in the water.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. But I think looking back, I wish I would have done less on
Hmm.
this theme of doing less.
Yeah.
I wish I would have done a little less because I would have liked to have more time to like go to the actual conference and go to other events that I wanted to go to. But instead, I felt like I was kind of like stuck in the house for most of it, like either prepping for the shows or hosting the shows
Yeah.
or whatnot. But it was nice to like not have to leave and just have everyone come to you and
Yeah.
still be able to hang out with people. So that part was nice.
No, I think that was good. I mean, I think everyone also very much enjoyed kind of the full experience of the house. The food was incredible. You did a really good job at like
Oh, good.
bringing in some good food. You got the bull market chicken too. Like, there's pictures out there. I'm sure. I know I either shared something on Instagram or I forget where, but there's like this
Yeah.
gold flake chicken which didn't just look good. It's probably one of the best chickens fried
was good
chickens I've
chicken.
ever had.
Yeah, that was really good chicken.
I never knew I was gonna go to Thailand and find the best fried chicken, but I did.
Hmm.
And then yeah,
Yeah.
there was just so much. And then karaoke, like that was
Oh my God.
incredible.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't
Yes.
forget that. Which, by the way, I
I could
have all the
never. I could
video.
never. Can you please DM me all of it?
Yeah, I said I was gonna do a cut, and
I
I
know.
still even haven't
I
got to
won't
it.
post it. I'll wait for you to do
Yeah,
your cut, but I just want to see it
yeah,
just for my own personal viewing
yeah.
pleasure.
It's silly. Like I caught most everyone singing, and none of us are professional singers, so I think we all did a really good job. Some
It
of us
was
were
fun. It
yelling a
was a
little
lot
more
of
than
fun.
others. Some of us
Yeah.
were sweating more than others.
Oh my God.
We know who I'm talking about when we talk about.
The amount of sweat that came down Spencer's face during the hot ones was insane. It was so insane because like I had seen him do hot ones before and I saw him sweat. There's like video footage of him with a towel over his head, which is
Yeah,
why I just like straight up gave him a towel this time. But
yeah.
this was like at least double or triple what we witnessed at MCon.
Do you think it was spicier or the humidity?
It wasn't humid in the house. I had the AC cranked.
You did.
I think it was a spice.
By the way, I'm grateful that each room could control their AC because I don't like the AC cranked when I sleep. I like
Oh,
a
sorry.
moderate 72 degrees when I sleep.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah. The whole
Yeah.
house was like, when I would open the door every morning, it was like 60. I was like, oh, like it's an ice box out here.
My room was an ice box. Like the rest of the house felt hot compared to my room.
Yeah, well, Jesus. So your room was just probably like in the 60s. The whole house probably was like in the mid 60s, and my room was like a temperate 72, and outside was like
Yeah.
100. So,
Yeah.
regardless, I came into my room and I felt cozy. I was like, okay, it's neither cold, it's not hot. It was great.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So everything was good with the house except for the hot water situation, right? There was a bit of a situation with that.
Apparently, only you paid the water bill, so only you got hot water. No one else. I've never taken so many cold showers in my life.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I mean it is. I got used to it. In the end,
No
I
one said
learned the
anything.
trick.
No one said anything until like halfway through the week. And then I was like, why didn't you should have told me right away and then I could have like messaged the Airbnb host and had her do something. I don't know if there's anything
I
she
just
could
thought
do, but
that's the way we did things in
that's the way
Thailand.
it was.
Although to be fair, I came from a hotel and I ended my stay in a hotel, and they did have warm water. So,
That's good. Yeah.
but
That's
aside
good.
from
That's
that,
good.
it was good, and we had great times. And yeah, it was a little further away than kind of I would have enjoyed it. But the fact
We
of the matter
got
is,
rugged.
oh, you didn't know that's where the house was?
No, remember I was like sending a different address through in the
Oh, that's
beginning because that's what it was
true.
said on the Airbnb. And then when they actually messaged us, like, hey, it's time to check in, blah, 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 it was a different address. Remember, I was like
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
chat
yeah,
being like, wait, am I stupid or are
yeah.
these not the same addresses?
Well, because someone got to the house first, right? And they realized they were in the wrong house when they
Yeah, they
put
said
the
they showed
address.
up to like a mall or something. Like it wasn't even a house. It was like the address to a mall.
I hope you like made a comment about that. It's like, hey, by the way, this is not the right address that they're advertising.
I just remembered this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will maybe
Because
contact her if
I don't think that's
yeah.
within the terms and conditions of Airbnb is to put in the
Yeah,
wrong address.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's yeah. I was like super stoked about the location at first. I was like, wow,
Yeah,
this
it was a little
location is
more
so good.
central.
Yeah, it was. And it was like in the middle of where all the hotels are too.
Yep.
So everybody was staying right around there.
Yep. Yeah,
And
because I
then
said I
I
was
was
gonna
like, wait,
walk up from where I was staying. It was literally like a
yeah.
15-minute walk, and I was like, I could do that. That's easy.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Yeah. And people probably planned their weeks around like, when they were gonna come to the house and how they were gonna get there and stuff. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
annoying.
fair. Because I mean, definitely wouldn't have been that difficult to get there from the main venue.
Yeah.
Because it would have been along the same street, I think. Also,
Yeah.
just way,
Yeah.
way north. Yeah,
That would have been way better. Yeah.
cool. I
But
mean, so we've
overall,
covered.
overall it was
Sorry,
a
go
good
ahead.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've covered a lot. This has been rad. I mean, it's been good catching up with you because I feel also
Yeah.
like since DevCon, you've been MIA, but you've been doing a lot of fun
I have.
stuff, a lot of traveling.
I'm
Uh,
back now.
yeah, I can't wait to see what kind of experiments you will run with Rehash. definitely I'll be sharing a little bit more with you in the DMs. Anybody, look, if you want to know, I just probably won't talk about it on air, but if you're a hyper sub subscriber, you're part of the group chat. I'm sharing a lot of stuff in there too. So you're welcome to join me in the group chat or just DM me on Farcaster, which I'm in most often than not, at Humpty and at Tree Girl for Diana.
Yeah, and Humpty actually replies to his DMs a lot better than I do, so definitely hit him up.
Well, that's because my window's usually open and I don't like to see that little red bubble, said the boomer,
Oh
of
God,
notifications.
you do not want to see me
Oh
screenshot
no.
all my app
Oh,
red
that's gonna give me
numbers.
anxiety.
My email is currently at 24,000.
Why does it even show you at that point? It should
This
just be
isn't,
like,
no, I deleted so much stuff. It's been in like the 6 digits before.
wow. Like, I thought it would just show you like a little red bubble like that says you have messages. Because at that point, what's the point?
I don't know. My Telegram is
Literally,
only at 59. That's
my
pretty good.
phone says I have one missed text message, and that's already giving me
It's
anxiety.
killing you, isn't it?
Yeah. So hang
Yeah.
on. Oh, okay, there. It's taken care of. I don't have OCD, but that's one of the things that'll always get me.
You don't have OCD, but you need to clear out all your red notifications. You're not a hoarder, you're just a collector. Hey guys, listen, it's all about how you spin the narrative, okay? If there's one thing I learned from my time as a lawyer, it's all about how you spin the narrative.
Okay. All right. Look, I mean, you were a lawyer. I was not. I'll believe you on that. And
Maybe you should have been. Maybe you should
based
have
on your
been one.
questioning too, like I know you're a lawyer. You're really good at getting information out without me knowing that I'm revealing more than I plan
You
to.
knew though. You knew.
But I still
You
do.
you did. Yeah, you knew what I was doing and you knew what you were doing and you still did it.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew that I was trying. I look, because I mean the whole point of it is I want to reveal something to the community and let them decide whether it was something
Hmm.
fun or interesting and then run with it. Because I'm going to be here for a very long time, or at least for the foreseeable future, and so I want to make
Until
sure
your
that,
bags explode. And then we're never gonna hear from you again. You're just gonna go
yeah,
buy an island, off the coast of wherever and
you and
live
I
there
are so
happily ever
different.
after.
You and I are so different. You want to be at an island. I want to be in the middle of a dense city. I love
Oh,
noise.
okay, there you go.
I grew up in a downtown neighborhood, so I like the noise. I don't like it being too quiet.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay. There's like suburban quiet though, and then there's like mountains in the middle of
yeah,
nature
I
quiet.
can't
Like
do
those
that.
are different.
Yeah, yeah, I live in the burbs
Mm,
now, but it's there's still noise. Like when someone drives by or my neighbors are home, like there's some noise. Like, and I like that. I
yeah.
appreciate that. In the
Okay,
middle of an
okay.
island alone, I don't know about that. I'd be freaking out.
Yeah, but at that point, like you could also travel. You could probably have like multiple properties. You could have one
What kind
in
of bags do you think I
downtown.
have?
Dream big, Humpty. Dream big. We are
That's right.
market is back. Time to dream big.
That's true. My vision board is buy several properties, several islands. Got it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get on Pinterest. Let me know if you need inspo.
Oh, I am on Pinterest. That's my number one social that is not crypto. So.
Oh God, I said it as a joke.
Oh no! You see? You got me to reveal more of my preferred preference, which apparently is very boomer of
Everyone already
me.
knows you're a boomer.
I know. It's okay.
Yeah,
We're all good with
yeah,
this. All right.
yeah.
Apparently, this is not the early morning crew. This is the aging morning crew. We're getting older as we speak.
We all are.
I'll catch you next weekend. Probably a lot more meta that we can talk then.
Yeah.
But until then, thanks so much for your time and good to
Good
see you
catching
again,
up.
Diana.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for having me. I'll talk to you soon.
Cool.
Bye.
Let's see where our streams are. Ooh, it's uploading slowly today.
Oh, I think it's, yeah. Is it on me? Is mine
Both of
showing?
us. No, mine
Oh,
too.
yours is too?
Surprisingly, I'm at less than 50%. Let me open my door.
Oh, okay.
So I'm always on Wi-Fi, and I have a wireless repeater in here that's supposed to
Hmm.
like amplify the signal, but it doesn't
Oh.
always work very well.
Mm,
It says you have about 20 seconds to completion. Mine is about 40, so I'm actually doing
okay.
worse than you.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi's been kind of janky today as well. But I also have an Eero in here, which is supposed to extend like the mesh.
Oh,
Supposed to be like a mesh extender thing.
yeah.
But I don't know. Things have been uploading really slowly for me today.
Yeah. Still going. It says